According to police, Kenneth Bogard, the band leader, is also Kenneth Bogard, the Pacific Beach rapist. Today, 7 rape victims were called in to pick him out of a lineup at the jail. Since the PB rapist wore a mask, so did the 6 men in the lineup. The victims watched the men walk and heard them talk. But did anyone finger Bogard?
I can't tell you if they picked the right one or the wrong ones. I can't tell you that.
The public defender was smiling about the results. He says the police have the wrong man.
He's a hell of a nice guy, and he's a very likable guy. And the bottom line, he said he didn't do it, and that's enough for me.
I just thought he was very nice.
Wendy likes him too. She's been a fan of the band and a friend of Bogard for years.
He was very aggressive towards women. He was very flirtatious. But, you know, I felt like a lot of that was the showmanship. I mean, he was the leader of the band.
Since 1989, Bogard has been convicted of 3 sexual offenses. Recently, he was arrested for aiming a video camera up women's skirts. And at San Diego State, campus police suspect he's the serial flasher they tried to catch up with a year and a half ago. In fact, they tipped off San Diego investigators that Bogard could be their man. Students are relieved there's been an arrest, but they're still cautious.
You always have to watch out no matter what, because you never know. There could be the next person standing right there, could be either just like him.
There's always going to be another guy. It's just, in a way, it was good because it made people more aware. So they were a little bit more precautious and taking more precautions, going places and stuff. But no, won't change a thing.
The case against Kenneth Bogard begins to unfold at his preliminary hearing February 22nd.
Oh, thank you.
I want to give you a hug.
The joy on Kim Caldwell's face told it all as she hugged prosecutor Dan Lamborn. It was back in August of 1993 when she was attacked by the PB rapist.
It's been a year and a half of holding my breath. I've been holding my breath, literally. Today I felt like I could actually take a deep breath. It just feels so good.
Caldwell was the only one of 7 rape victims to go public with her story. Her testimony helped convict Kenneth Bogard of all 35 criminal counts against him. Cameras were not allowed in the courtroom today, but Bogard sat emotionless as the judge read the verdicts.
He lived a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type life, and so that's part of the act. He's an entertainer to the end.
Bogard was charged with being the knife-wielding, ski-masked man who terrorized 7 women in the Pacific Beach and College area between 1992 and 1993. Caldwell says she's convinced he's the man who sexually abused her.
You know, I could never 100% identify him because he had a ski mask on. I mean, none of you could. None of you, I don't think, could. But I knew that it was him. I focused in on him, but I was as sure as I could be. He's just so guilty.
Why was
He's
he
a
so guilty?
pervert.
Bogard was well known locally as a member of the band Dr. Chico's Island Sounds. But this videotape used as evidence revealed he also had a passion for photographing women in private moments. DNA test results linking him to the rapes were most crucial.
I have to believe that is the major part. That was the key evidence that bound together so many of the cases, along with the demeanor of Mr. Bogard in each and every case.
Ryan Baker, News 8.
As he walked into the courtroom, Kenneth Bogard, the former leader of a reggae band, smiled broadly and acknowledged his family and friends. Prosecutors say he's the Pacific Beach rapist, the man who attacked 8 women and terrorized beach communities for a year and a half.
He was really forcing the knife on my throat, and he kept telling me not to look at him. He told me not to take the mask off.
Kim Caldwell is the only victim of the PB rapist who allows her face to be shown. At times during her testimony, she stared down Bogard. Her attacker wore a mask, so when Bogard appeared in a police lineup, Caldwell couldn't be sure he was the one.
And I tried to reach over and grab the knife, and he grabbed my arm. He took the knife and put it between my legs.
In the first day of testimony, prosecutors introduced a surprise witness, another victim. This woman is a model who claims Bogard assaulted her in a downtown San Diego hotel room.
He was holding me, telling me that I better not say anything, and I better not make any noise, or he would hurt me, or he would stuff a rag in my mouth.
The woman admits she was intoxicated and took Bogard up on his offer to escort her to her room. The series of attacks began in August 1992. The PB rapist broke into a woman's home through an unlocked door or window. He wore a ski mask and he threatened his victims with a knife.
I thought he was going to cut me. You know, it was really horrible. Thought he was going to cut me.
The addition of a new victim boosts the number of charges filed against Bogard to 43. More than 30 witnesses are expected to testify over the next 4 to 5 days. Liz Purcell, News 8, the County Courthouse. This was Kim Caldwell's most powerful moment, in the courtroom facing the man who raped her.
You took the knife and you put it between my legs. That was when I prayed to God to die.
Caldwell was not the typical rape victim. She refused to remain anonymous, and she challenged people who dared to stereotype her. The story of her campaign to find the Pacific Beach rapist and her unrelenting efforts to see him behind bars have thrust her into the national spotlight.
I'm not saying that women need to do what I'm doing, that every woman needs to come forward like I am. I think more and more will, though, as they start to realize that it's not me. It's him. He's the one that's to blame. And if you're blaming me, you're blaming your daughter. You're blaming your mother, your niece, your granddaughter.
After Kenneth Bogard was convicted and sentenced, Kim Caldwell backed away from the cameras and reporters and took some time off. She's still involved with helping other rape victims, but she's no longer focused on Kenneth Bogard.
I don't think about him at all. There was a time when I did nothing but think about him. I don't.
In the interview with First Magazine, Caldwell was critical of the police department's attempts to catch the Pacific Beach rapist.
They told me, Kim, women are raped every day, just get used to it. What we're doing is waiting for the next victim. We're hoping he'll slip up, and that's really all we can do.
Caldwell is speaking out to help other women, and she's encouraging rape victims to report the crime because so many people don't.
If they just say, I don't want to deal with it, I don't want to do anything about it, someone's next. There is going to be someone's next, because rapists rape. That's what they do. Rape. That's what they do.